He went to war thinking he'd come back to a normal life. But what he found instead shattered him forever. His best friend didn't make it. And now, someone has to keep a promise no one else could. They say war changes a person, but nobody really understands how until it touches your own life. Jake Miller had always been the kind of man who believed in loyalty, honor, and friendship above all else. Serving in the U.S. Army wasn't just a job for him, it was a calling. And on the battlefield, there was one person he trusted more than anyone else, his best friend Marcus. They had grown up together in a small town in Ohio. From baseball games in the summer to late-night talks about their dreams, they were inseparable. When the military called, they enlisted side by side, swearing they'd watch each other's backs no matter what. But war has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. Jake remembers the day vividly, the chaos, the dust, the deafening noise of distant explosions. And then Marcus, diving in front of him, taking the bullet that was meant for Jake. In that split second, Marcus saved his life, but at the ultimate cost. When Jake returned home, the victory of survival felt hollow. The warmth of returning to his hometown was overshadowed by the pain of loss. Marcus was gone, and nothing could ever bring him back. But grief has a strange way of revealing responsibility. One evening, as Jake visited Marcus's parents, he noticed the fear in their eyes. They weren't just mourning, they were scared. A local gang, ruthless and unforgiving, had been targeting the family, looking to take advantage of their vulnerability. Jake felt a surge of something he hadn't expected, a deep, unshakable resolve. Marcus had protected him. Now he would protect Marcus's family. He started small, walking them to and from school, checking locks on their doors, keeping an eye out for suspicious activity. It wasn't about revenge at first. It was about keeping a promise. But promises have a way of demanding more than you think. The gang's threats grew bolder. Windows were broken. Strange cars lingered too long. Every shadow seemed to hold danger. Jake realized that this wasn't just a fight over property or money. It was a fight over justice. And he couldn't let the people he loved, the people Marcus had loved, fall into harm's way. Every day, Jake trained, planned, and stayed vigilant. Every evening, he would sit with Marcus's parents, sharing stories about their son, keeping his memory alive. In those moments, he saw Marcus in every laugh, every memory, and every quiet moment of bravery. It was in one quiet night, under the dim streetlights of their neighborhood, that the turning point came. The gang tried to intimidate them one last time, but Jake was ready. Not with anger, not with hate, but with determination and strategy. He confronted the threat head-on, protecting the family with calm, calculated courage. There was no recklessness, no desire to fight for the sake of fighting. This was about honor, respect, and keeping a promise made with blood and loyalty. In the aftermath, as the danger receded and the family's home became a safe haven again, Jake understood something profound. Marcus's legacy wasn't just in the life he had lost. It was in the love and protection he inspired in others. Jake didn't just survive the war. He honored it. He didn't just mourn his friend. He became the guardian Marcus never could be. And in that, he discovered a truth that echoes in the hearts of anyone who has ever loved and lost. Courage isn't just about facing the enemy. It's about standing up for those you care about, even when the world seems against you. The promise of a fallen comrade isn't just a memory. It's a responsibility. And some promises are too sacred to ever break. Because sometimes, the greatest battles we fight aren't on distant battlefields. They're in the quiet streets of our own towns, in the homes of the people we love, and in the hearts of those we choose to protect. And for Jake, the fight continues, not for revenge, not for glory, but for loyalty, for love, for a promise that death itself could not break. If you've ever lost someone who meant everything to you, you know, keeping their memory alive is the most powerful way to honor them.